Hey everybody, welcome to the Yellowjackets Hive After Dark. I am Media Melanie here with,
And I'm Emily.
and today we have two very special guests coming into the hive. So why don't we all give a giant buzz for Jenna Burgess, who plays Melissa, and Mya Lowe, who plays Jen. Hey ladies.
Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us. This was quite the episode this week. Have friends and family been reaching out to you both like crazy with their thoughts and everything?
Not this week.
Surprising.
No.
Okay.
You?
Yeah, I had a couple people come up to me recently that saw this last episode and were like very shocked by it. Yeah. a little disturbed for sure.
I don't know where my friends are at. I don't know. They watch it.
Calling Jenna's friends.
Silence.
Calling Jenna's friends. Well, who knows what's going to happen next week? Maybe all the calls are going to be coming next week. We don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
they came before the baby was born. I got a lot of "you're going to eat the baby" texts. So
right.
Yeah.
Yes, the baby episode. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So we do a thing called Yellowjackets Would You Rather, and we just want to would you rather you both. Emily, why don't you start with Mya?
Okay, so would you hide out in the cave indefinitely risking further starvation or take your chances pulling a card?
Oh, that is a good one. I think I'd hide out in the cave. I think I'd have to, just after, even rewatching that scene. It's so nerve-wracking. I could never put myself through it. No.
Jenna, how about you?
Oh, definitely the cave. I mean, it wasn't even real, and I was like nervous doing that scene. Like every time Sam made her way around that circle and it got to me, I was like, and I knew what card I was gonna pull, but I just it got to me. So couldn't do that in real life.
Were there multiple takes on that scene, or was it one and done?
That took like 13 hours. That was
hours.
Wow.
That was like one of our longest scenes it took to film the entire season.
Wow. 13 hours. That's crazy. What was the longest scene aside from that one? Eating Jackie, perhaps? The baby scene.
That was quick.
Okay.
The baby scene was split up in a lot of ways. So that was over the course of a few days. So I'd say the baby scene did take a long time too.
Yeah.
I would
definitely.
imagine.
All right. Hey, so our friend Kim Sirico is going to come on. She wants to ask you each a question. She does some YouTube videos, Media Mondays, Yellowjackets Reactions. Hey, Kim, welcome.
Hi.
Hey, all right. Why don't you start with your question for Jenna?
Sure. Okay. So my question for you, Jenna, is I've seen a lot of people asking where you and Mya came from since season 2 started. Does that drive you crazy?
I don't know. Sorry, can you finish that? Because I started laughing.
Oh yeah, no worries. So apparently they don't realize that you and Jen were background characters in season 1.
Yeah.
How do you feel about those comments?
I'm okay with them because I didn't know where we came from either. It makes more sense when you're there and you're on the set and you see they're actually quite they're good with the extras, but when you kind of splice it together, like when I watched season 1, I was like, who are these people? And then being on set and realizing that they're actually pretty good at it is just confusing to the viewer. And I think they do that on purpose because still a work in progress. But Melissa was always there. Melissa was just hanging out in the back, doing her own thing and not really speaking up. And you can kind of see as the episodes go on, you see her character grow a bit. And that's just, it's kind of do or die. Like you kind of have to speak up at this point because starvation, it's cold. And and I know Mya has a completely other side of that. So.
Yeah. I was there first season and I was lucky enough to be brought back and be able to kind of develop a character in another way. But yeah, it was definitely like an interesting experience going from kind of being more in the background and really observing stuff to then being in it and being there with Jenna and sharing a lot of moments together.
Yeah. And I know someone's asking if we made up backstories. a little bit in our head, but it's tough when you're in there as a supporting character and you only have so many lines to play with, and you, as an actor, you want to make sure you have a foundation for yourself to work off of. But if it's way too far with something you've made up in your head, you don't know if the writers are going to give you something completely in the other direction the next week. So as an actor in that position, it was kind of interesting to kind of like, you're kind of in this gray area. So yeah. But I have some like headcanons in my head that I'll keep to myself. But if they ever come true, I'll let you guys know.
All right. Love that. Kim, what's your other question?
Yeah. So, Jen, I am also from Victoria, BC, by the way. I saw that on your IMDb and thought that was cool.
Amazing.
I'm wondering what you think of all the theories that you are Pit Girl from the pilot.
Okay. Yes. I think they're awesome. I think they're so funny. I get some comments sometimes on Instagram talking about my demise and how I'm gonna die. I mean, it's not in a mean way, but I think they're pretty funny, and me and Jenna talk about them pretty often. And I get it. I mean, we're all gonna theorize, and we, as the cast, we theorize all the time. And Pit Girl is like a huge deal. It's been there since episode 1, season 1, you know, like it's a huge thing. So I mean, I love the theories. Keep them coming. I'm always so interested by it. And that's so cool you're from Victoria too. I love the island. I'm going back there this weekend. So that's awesome. But yeah, that's what I'd say. I think the theories are awesome and I'm never offended by it. I think it's great.
Cool. Thank you.
It's so much fun, all the speculating. I mean, it's our livelihood, basically. So
we do it too.
Yes.
We do it too. We're just a couple episodes ahead of you guys, but we're doing all the same things in our trailers. So
yeah, and I think someone asked also, like, does the cast have a betting pool going on? Who else might survive to be rescued? And we discuss it all the time. Like, it is something that we see things in scripts and then we bring it up together. Like, honestly, on set, a lot of our time is spent theorizing.
Are we Reddit lurkers? Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, Shelly, we are there. I think we're all there. I think everyone's admitted that they go into the Reddit because we want to know too. And like, we have theories and we're like, well, what does the Reddit people think? Because then we can like expand on our theories, what we might know that you guys don't. So of course, yeah.
I love that you guys look at Reddit. But I love that.
Yeah, we had Luciano on earlier in the season, and he said the same thing. He'd go on after each episode and look at all the different Javi theories, and you know, Javi's a bear, this and that. So it's nice that you guys are lurkers there. It's really fun. So we enjoy that. Awesome. Well, hey, Kim, thank you so much for joining us. Catch Kim's Media Monday Yellowjackets recaps on YouTube, and she's on Facebook, very active in the Facebook group. And are you on Reddit as well?
Sometimes. I'm more of a lurker than a poster.
Right. Hear that. All right. Well, thank you, Kim. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much.
Bye, Kim.
Bye.
All right. So let's dive into some of our questions here. Starting with Mya, we heard you initially audition for Mari. Can you tell us about the progression from that audition to being cast as Yellowjacket #1 and then actually getting a name in season 2?
Totally. Yeah. So I think as we got into filming, there was a lot that everyone was still figuring out. There's such a huge cast with the show. So the way that we started out the season and the way we ended it was so different from what any of us expected. So I originally auditioned for Mari, and I got to know casting and the production through that. And then casting reached out about 2 more characters coming on, which was Yellowjacket 1 and 2. And I was thankfully booked as one of them. And so when I was brought on, I had no clue what was going to happen, what my future was, how long I'd be on the show. We did that entire season and I stuck around. And then, of course, I was like, okay, I'm hoping season 2, I'm there again. And then season 2 came around and they brought in these 3 new characters. And I taped for Jen so that they could see how, you know, my personality fit into these people. And I got Jen. And again, as we started filming, none of us really knew where it was going to go. But then I met Jenna and I met Nuha, and we kind of were able to like talk about it and figure out how our dynamics are. And as each script kind of came out, I idea of who this character was. And then it eventually just kind of became easier once you know the people that you hang out with. And for me, it was Melissa. So we were just able to build off of each other. Yeah, it was so fun. It was so fun. And that's why for most of our scenes, we're together. We're working off of each other. So that was kind of the story behind it. But yeah, none of us really knew where it was going to go season 1. And I had no clue. So I'm really happy with where it landed.
Excellent.
So this question is for Jenna. Did you watch the show before you auditioned? And can you tell us more about the process of getting cast for season 2?
Yeah. I had heard of it because I worked on Night Agent with Sarah for one episode. And so when we were in the cast tent that day, we were talking about it a little bit, and so it was on my radar, but I never actually watched it because I don't actually watch a lot of TV. Definitely more of a book person, but I got the audition maybe end of July, beginning of August. And I read it, and it was one of those auditions that you get and you're like, damn it, I'm not going to get this because I love this. And so I was like, this is perfect. She plays soccer. I play soccer. I love horror. So I was like, this is like a dream. And then I watched the first episode thinking like, I'll just kind of get an idea of the tone. And as you do when you're an actor, you just kind of like pop into shows and stuff to see what it's about. And I ended up binging the whole series within a week.
Wow.
It was so good. And so I ended up putting myself on tape for it. I did it with a coach, but I didn't turn on my microphone. And so I had taped this whole audition, and then I didn't have any sound. But what I did have was a version I had done with a friend who came over to tape her own audition. But she's like, do you want to just run yours once? And I had just gotten out of bed. I was not feeling very well. I was still in my pajamas. And we're like, yeah, sure. I'll just throw myself on my phone kind of so I can watch it back and tweak maybe here and there. And that's the one I ended up submitting. So I got a call maybe 2 months later that I booked it. And I thought it was already cast. I auditioned for Alana by then. Callie's friend.
Okay.
Which some people thought I did get that part, which was kind of funny because that's the part when I got a text from my agent saying Yellowjackets is interested. I thought it was Alana because that's the one I had submitted maybe 5 days prior to that. So
right.
It ended up circling back to Melissa. And at that point, I had seen the Instagram. It looked like they were filming. And I was like, oh, I didn't get that one. That's a shame. So, yeah, it was like, it just so funny that it came back around. And I'm just so grateful that it happened because not only is the show amazing, but I've made a lot of good friends on the show. So,
Aww.
Yeah.
That is great. And what a different experience that would have been being in the present day timeline versus the wilderness. I mean, talk about night and day. So, I mean, you must be very happy where you landed.
Yeah. And when I got the part, by the time I auditioned for Alana, my hair was a very dark brown color. So when I got the part, I was like, oh, maybe I'm the girl in that pit. And then I got there and they're like, we're dyeing you blonde. So,
you're like, safe for now. Safe for now.
For now. Yeah. I don't know. But I see some comments. Do we fan edits? I love the fan edits. I have a folder of like other fan cams from other shows that I'm just like, these are just fun to watch. And I don't know why they're so addicting to watch, but when I see myself on them, it's like, it's crazy. So yeah, very grateful. I love that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we had Nuha on a few weeks ago, and that was a lot of fun. We actually brought a fan on that played her crystal edit for her, which was really cute. So we love all the fan edits and all that stuff as well. And it's cool that you guys pay attention to it. I love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I see like everything. I see most things. Yeah. I'm on TikTok all day, so.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
That's fantastic. You guys have had some really good TikToks too. Solid.
Yeah, we filmed one the other day and I accidentally deleted it. So I have to, we worked so hard, but maybe we'll
do it again. We'll
have to film it again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So the last episode was a real tour de force with lots of questions answered, but not one of the biggest ones, who is Pit Girl? Now, we just briefly talked about it, but do either one of you know who Pit Girl is, or do you just still have no idea?
I don't know.
You
if
don't
we
have to
can
say
say
who
it.
it is, but do you know? I mean, if you can answer that.
I mean, we theorize about who it is. Do we know for sure? I don't know.
It's a toss
but
up. I have no idea.
is.
Mine changes weekly. I get on these like spiels in my mind of like who Pit Girl might be, and then it changes because there's just so many directions the show can go. And past season 2, I don't know anything, so
Yeah,
I'm in the same boat as you guys.
Right. Okay. So, do you know yet if you're going to be in season
Real
3 if you make it out of the finale?
we don't know yet. I mean, if we make it out of the finale, we would hope so. Yeah, I think we would hope so.
I feel like you guys are pretty safe because, I mean, you know, Javi's body should last. That should be some meat for a while. You shouldn't have to draw cards for a little while, hopefully.
Totally.
So.
Totally. Yeah.
All right.
So Heather Danner is asking, we know you mostly shoot on a set, but we see times you shoot in real snow, such as on the lake or the chase scene. Does being in the elements help you get into character more than being on a soundstage does?
Yeah, so I only did 2 days outside, which was in this episode, and it was the chasing Javi and Natalie. So it definitely like was nice to be actually outside in the snow for once because we're both from Canada, so we know.
You're familiar with it.
I'm reading this comment on the screen.
These comments are great. I love these.
Oh, you guys are great. Yeah, it's so when you're in like fake snow and you grow up in like a very snowy, well, Vancouver's not that snowy, so it is what it is. But yeah, it definitely like grounds you a little bit more on what their experience actually is. And running in the snow is like running in sand, except your feet are cold and soggy. And Mya, you did a whole season outside, so
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough that we were shooting late spring, and then oh my goodness, what a little throwback. Yeah, that was a night shoot, that picture, and that was one of our only night shoots. We went till like 5 a.m, and that was kind of one of the only times we really were cold out there. So I can't really complain, but does it help, like the elements help with the story? I definitely think so. Especially in those first couple episodes. For those who saw me in season 1, I'm covered in blood and dirt. So that was 2 hours of makeup every single day. So as I'm sitting there and getting put in this stuff and I'm in a floral dress, like it really does help get into character, and you're constantly feeling like kind of yucky. And then to actually be in the forest for it, I think it helped a ton. And yeah, it is definitely different from shooting on a sound stage. We had to play a lot more pretend with how cold we are and being in the winter, and we're also wrapped up in like 3 to 4 layers, and we're in this cabin with a fire blazing and we're hot, we are sweating.
If you ever see me in a blue sweater, just know that the last thing I am is cold.
It's so hot in there. So yeah, it was definitely a challenge. I think there's challenges with both, but I definitely appreciated being in the forest for season 1. It was great.
Definitely. So this last episode, we lost Javi. That was just so tragic and sad. Luciano's just so sweet. Can you each share what it's like after wrapping a big scene like Javi's death? Is there a heavy feeling when you're saying goodbye to a character in such a way, or is it more celebratory of the work and what they've brought to the show and their character?
Jenna could probably speak better to Javi's death. For sure.
Yeah, it was just kind of cathartic in a way because of course, like we love Luciano and his mom's always there on set, and they're just kind of like a pillar of like going to work every day and like seeing the same people. It's like when your like work buddy quits and it's like, oh, now I'm stuck here alone. So it's like when you see someone go like that, it kind of just sucks. But
same with Crystal, right? I mean, Nuha.
Yeah. Her too, yeah. Love Nuha. But I think it was just kind of weird because when we were filming up in Squamish, BC, they kind of had Javi's body in this like wagon, and someone was just kind of like wagging it around, like, and there's like kids walking by after school. I'm like, here's spoilers, but of course they don't watch Yellowjackets, so how are they gonna know? But
right.
And then you're like sitting next to the real person, and their like bodies just kind of like in the corner, like smushed there in like the prop bucket. So yeah, it's tough though, because I don't think his last day was like our last day with him. So it's like you want to be all sentimental, but they still have like 5 days of work. So
Yeah.
Of course. Allison's asking, did you attend his funeral party? She just saw an article about that. Were you guys there? Did you go?
Oh yeah. That was a rager. We did. Yeah, his mom went all out. Yeah, his family's great. Yeah, we did karaoke, some tequila shots. He didn't.
Of course.
But yeah. Oh yeah, we had so much fun. That's
awesome.
Death party ever.
All right.
So Lisa Matthews would like to know, which scene was your favorite to film and which scene was the most difficult for each one of you?
I mean, most difficult I can automatically say was the birth scene. That was like spread over, I'd say 2 to 3 days. We did have to do some reshoot stuff with it. So bringing it back a bit later was hard because we were all kind of like, okay, let's leave that, we're done. And then it kind of had to get brought back again. I think that was really hard on everyone. It was a really nice time for everyone to come together, but I think just the overall mood on set, even with the crew, it was really sensitive material, and we hadn't really been faced with something like that before. Jackie's death was one thing, and Jackie like eating the body and stuff was one thing, but to witness that kind of heartbreak right there over and over and over again is hard. And you have to be there also for the other people who are getting their coverage too. You know, you don't all just leave for that. You got to be there so that they can feel you as well. So we each had times where we could kind of go take a break, but having to kind of witness that over and over, that was hard. In terms of like favorite scenes to do, I think any ones that we got to just be there and all together in one room and each kind of be speaking, and the tone isn't so sad. I'd say like even our scene doing the circle moment, not that one, but the one outside where we were doing one of the circle moments, and we were all kind of closing our eyes and there's snow going and we're holding hands and talking, and in between takes we're all just like facing each other and chatting. And I think when there's a scene like that where we're all kind of set up to there's just nothing sad going on, it gives us a really nice environment to just like have fun together, goof off and all that stuff. So I'd say the circle scene was one of my favorites, one of the more memorable ones from this season, where we were all just kind of bonding and hanging out.
Oh, love that. Jenna, how about you? First, what was your most difficult one?
Definitely same with the baby episode. I think Mya summed it up pretty good. And, stillbirths and miscarriages are just heart-wrenching. And if you've ever been through that or know someone who's been through that, it's not something that you can just walk away from. So in my personal experience, knowing someone close to me that's been through that, it was definitely like not so traumatic in a way to bring it up, but just like having to, Sophie just did so brilliant. Everyone in that room was so supportive. And even when the camera wasn't on someone, like we were just all sobbing, like, and it was just, I think we all got a lot closer after that too. So that was definitely very difficult. Rewarding in the same way. And then my favorite was definitely when we got to do this last one and run outside in the woods. And a lot of people are asking about the animal noises here. They kind of just let us wing it, which I don't know if that was the way to do it, because I was like trying to like pin an animal in my mind, but like when you're running with like doing so many takes back and forth, and like it's just what comes out. And then in between those shots, we all got so tired that we decided we were gonna like book a massage. And like in between takes, we all had to like pass the phone around and be like, yes, my name is Jenna Burgess, yes, and like try to book these things. And we'd put it down, they'd be like, and action, and then we'd like run with our things screaming. So it was it definitely just was like a chaotic day, and it was just so much fun.
Oh,
Somebody-
that's amazing. Oh, sorry, go.
Sorry, somebody in the comments just said you both play off each other well. Do you hang out during breaks? We hang out during breaks for sure.
hang out, I think we've hung out like once a week since 2 weeks ago. So
Oh yeah,
twice.
Oh yeah, and even like on set if we have like a scene break, me and Jenna will like go to each other's trailers. Same with like Alexa, and we all just kind of jump between each other's trailers and hang out.
We did kind of have a little book club in the mornings too. It was kind of funny.
Yeah,
there was a Yellowjackets book club. We would just be so cold in the mornings that we just like huddle in someone's trailer, put on the fake fireplace, and read our books.
So there is a book club. There is, in fact,
apparently, maybe. There's a lot. Like everyone's a reader on this set. Like you could walk into the tent one day and we're all goofing around, but then there's moments, maybe 2 hours later, we'll all have our like face in a book. So,
do you all pass books around each other and share when you're done?
Yeah, we give recommendations for sure.
Yeah.
And then we'll see each other reading a book that we want to read, and then we're like, how is it? And then we'll get into discussions about it. So that's always nice.
Oh,
yeah.
We've heard there's some board game playing too. We hear that Kevin is maybe the most competitive out of everybody. Would you both say that that's accurate, or is there somebody else?
You should ask Mya that question.
We're talking to her tomorrow, actually. We're talking to her
Mya
tomorrow.
once made a comment. I don't know what time we were playing it, but Mya once made a comment that I was the only competition. So she was like seeking to get me out. And she, but then she would just go after me and I would keep losing. And I'm like, Mya, I don't think I'm the only competition here. So in my mind, I think Mya, because Mya had it out for me for some reason.
Mya's
was the only competition.
Yeah, she's quiet.
Kind of like a backhanded compliment there.
Oh, that is funny. So one of our favorite scenes is the one where you guys were talking about Crystal's body, and you're like, well, I'm not saying I want to, but it would be disrespectful to the wilderness to waste it. That was hilarious. Is it difficult bringing the humor into such a dark show?
I think in a way, yes. Yellowjackets has a dark humor to it. It's actually so funny. This season especially is very funny. But it's because I think no one's playing it to be funny. It's from a place of like real
honesty.
Realness.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of like no one else is gonna say it, but we are.
Yeah. Yeah. So when we went into
we're all thinking it.
And started filming it, it was different, I think, when we first started running it, and then as we worked with Anya more and more, it ended up landing in a different place, but I'm so happy with where it landed. It wasn't us trying to make it funny, I'd say, but really trying to play like the authenticity of the situation. And
it's kind of such a depressing like situation they're in too. And as actors, we're always kind of cracking jokes. So when we can get kind of that sense of like humor into the scene, it's just kind of funny to play with it because again, we're just kind of saying what everyone's thinking. And they're like 16 years old too. So you almost have to kind of like this like teenage rationalization is just, it's not quite as an adult. I'm not that much older, but as an adult, like, it's just kind of a different mindset. So you kind of just have to like kind of stoop back a couple years and, go back to the prefrontal lobe, life and
Yes. We heard in an interview from Sophie Nilise that there was a scene cut out that explained more about the process of how y'all decided to draw the cards. Do you recall that? And are there any additional details? Because it seemed like it escalated fast, right? They're like, oh, hey, we need to survive. And then, like hair clip on the thing and, let's draw cards and the chase. Like it escalated fast.
Yeah, I think Mya and I both had some good moments in that scene that we were kind of bummed to see get cut out, which is probably why we were like, let's do an interview after that one. So maybe you should have talked to us last week. But it's such as being in the TV business. Some scenes just have to go. Pacing, whatnot, little things here and there. It was a good scene. I'm sure remnants of it will pop up later and they'll take things and elements of that and put into something else so you guys can see that. But it was a good one. I'm happy Sophie acknowledged it because it got cut, but there was some really there was just some good moments and there's some funny moments. So I think that's the first time Sorry, I'm
No,
interrupting
no,
you.
you're good. You're good.
You guys
No,
are
you're
cute.
good. I was just thinking that, like, I think with the tone of the episode too, and just what was happening, I think it made sense to that the scene might not be there. So at the end of the day, it made sense. But yeah, I think we all had a little attachment to that scene, I'd say.
Yeah, every character had a good little moment in there, but yeah.
I hope they release it. I would love
Yeah,
to be able to
same.
see
Yeah,
that. So.
maybe one day.
Yeah, if they ever bring
Um,
back some deleted scenes, that might
yeah,
be
that
nice.
was the one time you heard my name said out loud too, and I actually had to kind of like ask Sophie. I was like, Sophie, would you say it? Because she was saying something. Shauna was saying something to me, and I was like, you just slip it in there, say Melissa, and I got approval from Bart and Ashley to do it, and so if you're not in there today, I don't know if everyone knows what my name is. So it's
Yeah.
well,
Well, hopefully we can see that scene someday. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I hope
I
so
would
too.
love to see it. So we saw a lot of hallucinations this season, and one of them turned out to be Jen was referred to as, I'm sure you have heard, Rabies Girl.
Baby's girl.
She was very
Yeah.
affectionately called that. What went into filming that scene, and like how did you like channel the like animalistic nature of like having to do that?
Absolutely. So if anyone's seen my other interviews about Yellowjackets, I've talked about this, and it's funny to me because the scene actually got changed pretty last minute. So that morning I was sitting in makeup reading my sides for the day, and I read over the scene because originally didn't involve that. But so then I read it, and immediately I go in my head, oh no, like this is what it is now. And this is very exciting, but also I did not prep for this. So immediately after makeup, I go into my trailer and I'm on the floor practicing how to be this animal and channel this animal. And it was a quick time. But then we went to filming it, and Jeff, the director, was like, hey, have you done animal work? And I said, actually, I have. So I'm very grateful for my training and that I was able to use it. So we did a little blocking with Steven, and he's so wonderful to work with. Specific animal, I'd say more so of like a wolf, because there was parts, not all of it obviously got in. We filmed quite a bit, but I'm swinging my arms like it's almost bear-like actually, but I'm moving a bit quicker than a bear. So yeah, we got a few runs at that, and it was really cool because, you know, of course we got to work with foam and drool, which was great, and it helps add to the character. And then we also got to, I mean, if you've seen it, you notice that I'm looking straight into camera. So I was actually pretending the lens was Steven, and I actually just got to go at it over and over and over again. So it was a great environment to just play and have fun. And it was honestly that, you know what, that is my favorite scene from this. That was the most fun I had this season for sure. That scene, and it just kind of came out of nowhere. And I think that it was perfect that way for me because I just didn't overthink it. I just kind of went for it, and I'm happy with how it turned out. And Steven was a great scene partner. So
yes, you're all so great. I mean, we just love watching all you guys together. It's been such a great season all together. And I think we've answered most of our questions, but the last one that we had on our end was, if your characters make it to the present day timeline, are there any favorite actresses that either one of you would like to see play adult Jen and adult Melissa?
That is a good question.
It's a hard one.
I have a name in mind. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay, yeah, look it up.
Make sure I get this right. Oh my gosh, Jenna, you go first whenever you think of one.
I honestly try never to like think about that. Just because Cameron Diaz, I've gotten Cameron Diaz before, and it's funny as like a young actress, like an actor, like you play like. You constantly go out for auditions of like younger version of other people. They'll be like every TV show in town has like will cast for like flashbacks, and so it's so much. Where did Mya go?
Oh no!
Oh, Oh, maybe her signal went out or something. Oh,
She's
oh,
done.
hopefully she comes back. She said 7:45. It's 7:40, so I don't think she just failed. Probably a signal thing.
I'll text her, Mya.
Someone is saying, Dustin saying Nev Campbell for Mya. Oh, here she is.
I was looking for the page.
I saw that someone threw out Kate Winslet, and we all know that's not going to happen.
That's a good one.
But I think like as like an actor in general, that would be someone I'd love to play a younger version of. So yeah. And
So
you guys
I
are
have
throwing
one
out
more
some great
question for
names.
you guys.
I have to Google these people.
I have one more question for you guys. A lot of people are super curious to know if either of you know the song that Misty was supposed to be humming before Shauna punches her in the face.
It's my favorite song. Yeah, it was called Key.
Okay, so that's what people were saying.
And we all had to learn it, but we never ended up. They made us learn this French song. And then we got there and they're like, actually never mind. So
yeah. I don't know if it'll come into play later on or not. Yeah, we originally were supposed to hum it or sing it.
Yeah, everybody was so curious about that.
Yeah, it was arranged for the show. And we were consistently singing it.
Yeah, all the time.
It became like a thing.
We need a TikTok for this. We need a TikTok of it. You
yeah,
guys.
We should.
Yeah, bring back Key.
We'll bring back Key. Also, I found the person, Gemma Chan. She was on Crazy Rich Asians, and I love her. I love her as an actress. So
she's good. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, we'll manifest both of your, potential adult choices. That would be fantastic. And let's hope that you both make it out of the wilderness. It sounds like we don't know yet about season 3, or maybe you girls know and, can't share.
We're lying.
We get it.
Yeah.
We get it. But thank you so much both for joining us. This has been awesome. And we are all very excited for the finale next week. On a scale of 1 to 10, how crazy is the finale?
Oh, I'm going to say a 10. I think there's some stuff that and
I didn't see it coming. So
yeah, I think if we didn't see it coming, you guys probably won't see it coming, but it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't expecting you guys to start hunting each other yet, so I was surprised by this episode too.
Just keeps on giving. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It sure does. Well, thank you both for joining us. Maybe we can catch up later at some point again. But until then, thank you both for bringing so much awesomeness to Yellowjackets, and we cannot wait to see what is in store for both of your characters.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for bringing us on. It was so much fun.
Of course. Thanks for being here.
It was so much fun.
All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.
All right. There we go. Well, that was fun.
Yes, that was so much fun.
Yes. And, as all the fans are saying in the comments, I hope to see you both a lot longer. I know that we're definitely hoping they make it to the present day. And hopefully we get some kind of a big reveal about that in the finale. That would be great. I love hearing that it's going to be a 10 on the crazy scale. So,
this episode was pretty crazy. Like the last 15 minutes of this episode, I feel like it was like Doom Coming 2.0. It was so intense for the last 15 minutes. It blew my mind.
It really did. I mean, as we talked about, this was a tour de force of questions answered and things that happened. Our top 3 buzzworthy moments of this episode. Number 1, Ben's discovery underneath the tree. We've speculated forever that there is some kind of underground shaft or mining situation or something. And so we got it. We got a cave, which could likely be a tunnel. And something we'll discuss more in our recap tomorrow. Ty's lantern was down in the cave, if you look really carefully. And Kim actually just sent us a picture. We'll share it on the recap tomorrow. But I think that proves that Dark Ty was Javi's friend.
Unless, she points out, when she takes the lantern, she points out that there's already a lantern missing. So unless that lantern was the lantern there, but that would mean, Javi obviously took it. and brought it down there, and that's where he was, and that's how he was able to survive. Like, I'm assuming that's how he was able to survive. And since he's dead, like, we're never going to get like a concrete answer, which like sucks so much.
It does. And Ken is asking, what about the bones, little human? I thought that at
Mm.
first, and I texted Emily right after. I'm like, do you think it's the baby bones? And she's like, no, Melanie, it is definitely animals. And I was like, okay, you're right, Emily. You're right. They're not baby bones.
No.
Oh, this is an interesting comment. Let's see. Do you think Nat will take the gun and go live with Coach? Well, that would certainly be interesting. I don't know how he's going to climb out of the underground.
I was
Even with
thinking that
winterized
too.
crutches, like I don't understand with one leg, you know. I mean, I don't think his upper body strength is there. They're all very much hallucinating about things. How is he going to get out, Emily?
I don't know. And once he does, like, I'm assuming anyways that he's going to keep this place a secret and he's not going to tell them about it, because who knows, maybe he'll need to use it himself. Like, because can you imagine, like, if he would have been present, like, for this hunt, like, he would have had to pick a card, like, and like, how is that fair? Like, if he were to be the one to pick the queen card, like, how is that even fair?
Right. And I mean, initially they weren't even going to do the hunt though, right? They were just going to have Shauna, you know, slit
Yeah.
Nat's neck, and then it evolved
That's
into the
true.
hunt, which brought it back to Mya or the Doom coming, to your
That's
point.
very
And
true, yeah.
you know, seeing Shauna's flashback to that moment too, where she, you know, where
Yep.
Travis had the apple in his mouth. And just the deleted scene, like, we need to see the deleted scene of that discussion. And I love that she said they both had a good moment there. It's funny because when we were arranging the interview, we were like, you know, what week would be a good week to come on, and they said this last week or this week, and last week didn't work out, so we did this week. But it's too bad that scene was cut out. So hey, Showtime, if you're watching, we would love to see the deleted scene. Please share. We're happy to play it on our podcast anytime. No problem.
Yeah,
no problem. Oh,
definitely.
Nikisha said we need to start a hashtag or something. You know, we could definitely all do hashtag. Let's see, we'll have to think of something. Bring back the deleted Yellowjacket scene. Way too long. We'll think of something shorter, but let's all get on Twitter and ask Showtime about it. I feel like we really need to know how it all came about, but they deemed it unimportant since they cut it out of the show. So I don't know.
That to me is like a puzzle piece that we could have like benefited from having.
Oh, Vine, of course, Vine. Yellowjackets deleted. Why don't we use hashtag Yellowjackets deleted and kindly ask Yellowjackets and Showtime to share that deleted scene with us. We don't want to bug them too much because, you know, no one likes being bothered online all the time. So, but I think it would be a nice little fun campaign. So let's make it happen, everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes. Our second buzzworthy moment of this episode, Emily, was...
It was the police searched the Sadecki household. And I kind of like encompass like the conversation that Callie has with Saracusa and the conversation that Jeff has with both Kevin and Saracusa, like in that, under that umbrella, because the conversation that Jeff had with them was like a lot.
Yes.
It was a lot.
It was. And I found it interesting that Saracusa mentioned about the clean cuts on the bones using the serrated kitchen knife or electric knife or whatever.
Yeah.
How did he know that she was cutting up bodies out there? I mean, even if you suspect cannibalism, I don't know that you would have such a depth of thought of going there immediately. That's crazy.
She says something like she has certain survival skills. So that made me wonder, like, what do people actually think happened to them out there? Or what do they know that happened to them out there? Because if he's like speculating that Shauna knows how to cut up a body, then they have to know something.
They do. They absolutely do. And can we talk about Shauna kitchen knife hands for a second? I mean, I immediately thoughts of Edward Scissorhands popped right into my head. First of all, when it first happened and she walked through the door, I had a feeling it might not be real. And I was not surprised it ended up being, you know, Jeff's dream. But it was really funny. Like when Jeff was like, why did you think I'd be into this? I mean, just another really funny Warren Cole moment. I love him.
Yeah.
I love him. And of course, the third biggest buzzworthy moment, even though it's really hard to pick because this episode had a lot of things happen, was obviously the chase scene and Javi's death. Watching Javi drown was so tragic. I mean, after, you know, we got a chance to speak to Luciano, he is just like the sweetest. And then having to watch him, you know, under the ice and Nat. I mean, can we just shout out Sophie Thatcher for a second too? Her
She broke my
performance,
heart.
she did. Someone on Twitter referenced her micro expressions and how much they brought to her Nat character. And I completely agree with that, because just the refinement of her emotion and the evolution of it from the beginning, making the gloves for Javi and then having Javi come and try to help her, which is the sweetest thing ever, to bring her to his hiding spot.
Yeah, you can
And
trust
then
me.
yes, and this just really opens the door for knowing more about Nat's trauma. I mean, no wonder she's suffering so much, and I don't even know what the fallout's going to look like next week for Travis. I mean, we saw it a little bit on the preview, but
yeah, it was so sad to like watch her make the realization in her head that like if she wanted to stay alive, that like he had to die. Like that was so sad, because like you could see so many thoughts were running through her head, and obviously she was probably thinking about Travis before everything else. Because what are they gonna say? Like, are they just gonna come back and be like, the wilderness chose, so Javi died? Like, Travis isn't gonna is he gonna accept that as an explanation? Like, he's falling in line with Lottie, but I can't see him like being like, oh yeah, my brother deserved to drown. Like,
no, definitely not. And it should be noted, though, that Javi was the initial person who found the Queen of Hearts card a few episodes ago in a background scene. If you were paying attention and really had the volume up, you could hear someone asking him, Javi, where did you get the Queen of Hearts? That was the only card that was missing from the deck. And so maybe the wilderness chose him sooner, and it didn't matter who chose the card this time. It was going to be him anyway. He's the youngest. He was already gone for so long. So I mean, and, you know, he grew 6 inches, so he's probably got some high-calorie butt meat that they'll all be enjoying next week. So, yes. And, you know, I just wanted to go back quickly, too, to Allison's comment about Jeff telling Callie about the baby. So this was a question answered. Jeff knows about Wilderness Baby. I love that we know he knows, but did Shauna tell him, or did he find out from reading the journals years earlier and never said anything? And good question.
Yeah, because like he makes that one comment to Shauna about how they only have one kid. So maybe Shauna doesn't know, but he admitted to her that he read the journals. So like she knows that. And if she wrote about it in the journals, then she has to know he knows.
Right. You know, like mine said, I'm glad he knows, honestly. And I think we're all glad, because that just shows that, you know, that's like he said, it's his burden to bear too. It's not Callie's. It's something, you know, that happened. And, you know, the look on Callie's face when she found out, I think that was a turning point for her, because it really helped her see more into her mom's trauma and, you know, maybe open up some empathy channels for her.
Absolutely. I mean, she did say like mom is like so fucked up. Like she knows that her mom is not like quote unquote normal, if you will.
Yeah, and Jeff knows it too. So, goodness. Well, there's going to be a lot to unpack with this episode, including Walter, him heading out. Maybe he could have been Adam's bone marrow recipient. Well, we don't know. Jeff and Callie's heart-to-heart, the hallucinations, Nugget, of course. Lottie's poison concoction and sacrificial suggestion, and the necklace. We also confirmed the necklace is the marker for the next person to die. So we have a lot to unpack in this episode. And tomorrow we will be doing a live stream at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Not only do we have Nia Sandaya joining us, but we also have Kelly McClure of Salon Magazine. So we're going to first interview Nia, and then we are going to we're going to go into the full recap like we normally do. So you definitely don't want to miss that. But before we go, we would also just like to shout out all of our awesome new patrons. We've got Malika, Lisa, Andy, Bluth Banana, Michelle, Heather, Danielle, Tara, Kim, Jillian, Nicole, Alyssa, and Jessica. Thank you all. We're so glad that you buzzed in. We very much appreciate you all, Patreon or not, for consuming our content, of course.
Yeah.
So thank you. We very much appreciate that. And for everyone joining us tonight, that was so much fun talking to Jenna and Mya. And tomorrow's going to be great as well. So
They seem to really love the comments too.
They did. I'm more so than anybody. I know that Nuha had read
Yeah.
a couple of them, but yeah, they were very into it. So thanks for bringing great comments too, guys. You're
Yeah.
such a big part of the show, and
The best part.
it really is. Everything about it. The speculating, the comments. We're so here for it. And there's only one episode left this season, everybody.
I know.
And it may be a while until we get season 3 because of the writer's strike, but we fully support that. WGA Strong over here as a union member,
Yeah.
of course, support that 100%, and hope it comes to an end in a timely fashion. But if not, it is what it is, and we've heard the cast is fully committed to waiting, and we cannot wait for season 3.
Yep. You said it. We can't wait.
Yes. All right. Well, again, thank you all for joining us.
Yes, thank you guys. And until we spill again.